So, what is this campaign for? So, essentially, I've been accepted to do my graduate studies in New York City at the School of Visual Arts. They have given me a huge scholarship to do so, which is quite a big honor, which is all great. Um, but my acceptance was based on, like, during my application and in my interview, I sort of pitched the school on this very large and elaborate piece of artwork that I want to create, which is great in theory. Um, in the past, I've created all my artwork out of pocket. I have always used my money to make my artwork. I've always worked as a bartender and sort of had this disposable income that I could invest into my artwork. But if I am going to New York City, as a Canadian on a student visa, I'm not allowed to work and make money, and definitely not make the kind of money I would need to build this artwork. So I'm creating this campaign. The artwork is perhaps the most ambitious piece of artwork I've ever attempted to create. It is a piece that is participatory, involves audience engagement, re-installations that are quite poisonous and socially relevant. But if I give away any of the content of these artworks, I sort of ruin the surprises that are contained within. I can describe around certain components without revealing the meat of the piece. So when you walk into the piece, you're confronted with what essentially look like three Catholic confessionals. And as you enter the confessional booth, it sort of becomes more of like a Catholic confessional meets an antique arcade Zoltar machine meets a 25-cent peep show. And then the audience member, once they put the token in, will be prompted with the idea to confess a sin in order to see the future on the first one, and then see the past on the second one, and see the future on the third one. And then I can't describe the content of the installation. What is the future? What is the past? What is the present? Or you'd have no reason to confess your sins to see it. And beyond that, you are moved into another area that is more the area where people will congregate after experiencing the artwork, that is designed to look sort of more like a Jerry Lee Lewis telethon and James Bidd's Times Square from his film Pink Narcissus. All of this artwork is quite elaborate. It is involves electronics, it involves machinery, it involves my sculpture skills, it involves my installation skills. It'll involve some performers that will have to participate in order to bring it to life. And the way I see it, I can do a very rudimentary version, very punk rock, very DIY version for about $10,000 to $15,000 in Canadian, to be clear, since that's significantly different than 10 to 15,000 US. But I can also do the more elaborate, more polished version of this, which in my rough estimates comes in around 40 to 45,000. So I have created this campaign in order to figure out which version of this artwork I'm making. Am I going to be going more punk rock, or am I going to be going high-end and polished? So I'm not just coming to you with my hands out asking you to give me money. I am offering lots of different rewards for this. At the base level are silk screens. So for $25, I will put silk screens onto a piece of cardboard, three of which are these concept drawings I was given when I worked for a nightclub owned by Peter Gatien underneath an art director named Kenny Baird. These are Kenny Baird's concept drawings that I'm using with his permission. And what I will do is I will silkscreen it either on cardboard for $25 or a t-shirt for $50, and you will be given a photograph of the artwork I created from these concept drawings. On the next step up, I am doing additions of a piece that I had originally created in bronze. I had sculpted in clay, made a mold, cast that mold in wax, took that wax, tore it up so that like the head is opening up, and then I cast that in bronze. And then, so I've taken that bronze and I've made a mold of that bronze to then cast it in resin so that I could make lamps out of it and do limited editions. There's a multitude of different color stories, all of which are being leafed with imitation gold. And they're leafed on the interior, so they have this chromatic metallic interior with the metal dripping down the center of the face from the apex of the tear. They are designed with hanging hardware and light fixtures inside, and each color story is being sold in an edition of 12, a fine art edition. They will come with certificates of authenticity and let you know which number of the series you have received, with my signature and all the stuff to make it an official artwork. And those are being sold at $300 Canadian, which I believe is somewhere around 200 something US if you're in the US and you're looking at this video. But the next level up, I'm currently offering these two gentlemen, which are portrait sculptures of Canadian politicians. These will be leafed with 24 karat gold and have a Silence Equals Death Again 2015 to 2020 placard on them. Each one of these were portrait sculpted by yours truly, and I will be offering them at the $1,000 Canadian price point, an edition of 12 each to the maximum that they will be created. I may offer editions of other artwork that I will add to the campaign based on the success of what I am offering initially. I really hope that you guys can help me out. I have never had to create artwork with money that wasn't my own, and it feels a little weird to be doing